Ryanniag ti Ilocosur, programa ngagserbi kamang kenram tayo iti gobyerno probinsyal. Lalo na, iti beneg iti sanggo niyang panlalawigan ti probinsya ng Ilocosur. Mangted tinanay ng informasyon kadagiti programa, proyektos, tulong ken mga sister kadagiti ang problema nga OFW ang kalugaran tayo. Ryanniag ti Ilocosur. Tinagaget, Produktibo Presiding Officer, the busy Governor of the Province of Ilocos Sur, Ryan Luis Singson, our main anchor, Ken Lito Javier, our co-anchor, Ryanniag ti Ilocos Sur, at tuyen nagsubli ngagserbi kada kayo, agsipod tada kayo ti inspirasyon mi, Ryanniag ti Ilocos Sur, da kayo ti inspirasyon mi.
Ay, hello, good morning, 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 good morning! Ilocos Sur yan, welcome to Ryanniag ti Ilocos Sur. It's April 10, 2023. Aba, kumusta po? Kalpasan iti Semana Santa. Okay? Happy vacation pailaeng kadagitay amin na po nga nakabakasyon. Government employee. Karagiti amin nga manariman ngagbibiyahe, agsubli pagtrabahuan da di Manila, syudad, ti Baguio, kenda dumapay nga probinsya. Ingat, 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 ingat kayo apo. Ketnay, adot desgrasya, Mariusip, ya. Oh, so ganad kayo ya. Awan ti opisina itata. Awan ti pasok ti government. Ken orepay iti private. Da kami lang tanda po, ya. Siyempre, media kami nariga nohang kami nga sumrek, iti na ito po nga oras ken kanito. Lakat, apay nga wampasok tata, idikalman kami na po, iso ti panakay-deklara iti araw ng kagitingan. Ngem, itata nga maselebraran, inyakar ni Presidente BBM. Iso nga, long week vacation, pailaeng. Ya? Nang rugi tayo, idi, 5 half day di 5 ingga na iti daytoy nga aldaw papagaya magasum dat 1 week vacation naganas niyag bakasyon ay saus naganas niyag bakasyon no adda iti gastosen hanggade pasyar kayo nga pasyar kaan kayo nga kaan di tarwar kita nyo ni Mayra kaan nga kaan nagdakkel tiyanan Mariusep, yakin na ito, hotdog, jumbo hotdog. Kumusta di bakasyon nyo, apo? Amo nga, idi Sabado Gloria, Sabado neta ado ti pan nagdidigos. Awan mo latigwa, awan mo analmes, awan ni record, nagpigsa ti danloyon ngamin, ya? Hampay nga maka jet ski, digito da jet ski na. Napigsa ti angin. Aglalo ti after lunch sa Mario Josep. Di tamo parte na iti Santo Domingo ti Ayame. Daydi apo kadwami mo dagitay taga Bigan Elite Team. Idolwan mat niya po Vice Gov Brian Singson. Thank you very much sa po BC Gobernador, sir. Kada Ma'am Cara, Michelle Tabius, papagayam. Ya. Ado kami diyay, nga mga bima nga makaporma ngagdigo sa ta, nagdakkel mo tapo, nagdawal mo ti danom, Diyos ko Lord. Nagdawal ti danom. Nakapigpig sa ti daluyon. So kung una nga raw, no didangam mo ti agsigla na gitoy, ay may bumbo naman ton no bigateng, kunak, kasi na po Diyos. Ya? Umuna ti amin, nagyamang kami amin na po, kadagiti amin nga volunteer group, manipod iti summer vacation 2023 operation dagitay kamang iti PNP, Bureau of Fire, Coast Guard, Philippine Army, amin na po nga government personnel nga timulong iti Sombak 2023 summer vacation. Alalay gabay sa paglalakbay, PNP, HPG, Maritime, PNP, Coast Guard, papagayam, adda kayo amin nita niya, timulong kayo. One, dagitay non-government organizations, radio group, dagitay dati banag iti fraternity, dagiti barangay officials, basta amin na po, nga NGO nga timulong. nga adda dita, agyamyamang kami amin, gagayem kaya na po kailan. Lalo na po, di ba iti simbaan, Romano Katoliko, dagitay adda tibiyang nga po ti Christian community. Thank you kada kayo amin. Tadda kayo nga nangidalan iti husto nga proseso para iti panakangilin tayo, panagnilin tayo po iti Semana Santa. Okay? Agyamang kami kada kayo amin na po. Right? Iti biyang dagiti rescuers kadagiti na dumaduma nga munisipyo, iti PDRRMC, dito'y probinsya tayo nga Ilocos Sur, mga kaibigan. Ay dalawa na ni Sir Ron Arkelada. Agyaman kami amin na po, kada kayo amin. Tanakitak idik almana, da kami mo dita igid ti Karayan, dita Bersorong, sakupan na po iti Nagpanawan Santa Ilocos Sur. Thank you very much. Kadagitay Coast Guard ken MDRMC ti idi nga Santa ng idalwan dito iti napaspas nga Mayor Popoy Bueno. Apo, agsubli-sublida nga umay mangkit-kita kada kami, dijay ayaming agdidigos. Thank you apo. Ya, kada kayo amin. Kasta kumaamin nga MDRMC. Handalatang agpipwesto diyan ti mismo nga yandan. No dikit di agpatpatrolyada jay Karayan, jigid ti kabaybayan, at da jay amphibian boat da, papagayam. Thank you apo, kasta, di ba? Agyamyamang kami. Ya, kada kayo amin, MDRMC, ti probinsyang Ilocos Sur. Agyamang kami ta namanteneryo, iti probinsya ti Ilocos Sur, awan dagiti paspasamak nga trahedya. Napasamak kadagiti gigid apo iti baybay ken Karayan. Sinelebraran tayo ti Semana Santa. Sos, Mariosep, nakapuspos ti tao dito Bigan City. Idi prosesyon, mga kaibigan, nakipag-prosesyon pa ni Apo BC Gobernador Ryan Singson. Agyamyamang kami, kadagiti aming umili, dagiti amin na pong devotee. Thank you very much. Nakadunga turista, ang imay. Dagiti transient houses na pumpuno, dagiti transient houses tayo. Gagayem ka na po kailan. Nakadaduda po, nakadadu ti tao. So kung kuna nga rod, negosyo, diti probinsya ng Ilocos Sur, talagang bimuloso kistaltope. Iti restaurants, mga kaibigan, dandaniawan pagtugawam, apo. Siyempre, kuna mo kanya darigiti kakadwak, mapantay ag-restaurant, itid tayo lamang agundaway ka darigiti turista, datayo pa lang kataga dito mo, datayo pa tayo lumatlat, kuna man. Okay, niya nga rod, kasta ka talaga mga kaibigan, gamyaman tayo apo, ti apo ka na marswata, nakita tayo apo, iti estado ti panagbiag dito probinsya tayong Ilocos Sur. Kumbaga, nagsubli manon. Nagsubli na po. Alagaan tayo. Dito nga pa nagsubli na gagayam kina po kailan. Tamok nga dito ya po kat napatag ka na tayo. Negosyo. Dagiti agbagbagnet. Ay saus, Mariosep, makamat ti bagnet da. Nakadadaw. Iti agbagbagnet, mga kaibigan. Nakadadaw po dagiti agbagbagnet. Ngam, makamat ti bagnet da. So, amin dagitoy. Naobserbaran tayo po, kabayatan iti Holy Week, kaya iti long week vacation, gagayam ka na po kailan. One, okay. Kaya na kadagiti amin na po nga nagtalok, iti na dumado mga programa, dito Ilocos Heritage sa channel, lalo na hindi lalo na hindi siyete palabras tayo, imabot iti nakurang 800 iti live view tayo. Thank you very much, po. Kara manuti ko atatan, followers na yun. Mano? 6.3? O, 6.3. Mga kaibigan. Thank you very much. Imado. Apo niya. Ang kabali na ito Ilocos Heritage sa channel page tayo. Dadtuyin na Naisubli jay dating anagan Ilocos Heritage channel Apo kailian, Facebook tayon, Ilocos Heritage Channel na po. One, dito yan na po iti, intayo, kitaanan, gagayam ka na po kailian. Then, dito yung Eagle Vision tayo, Ilocos Heritage Channel matlaan. Ati title na. One, so to yan na po nagsubli kami, tinidatin, so an-anadan lang basitan na po, dito yan. So, tayo ko na karod, gagayam ka na po kailian. Dagito yun na po iti pag siyatan na. Dito di pagsiatan nang. Dadtoy na po the communications tayo. Okay, so since na araw ng kagitingan, adat celebrations madamdama po, iti araw ng kagitingan, depende ti pakaramidan iti celebration, no, di jay mismo nga nagana di jayen, di jay libingan ng mga bayani, pagpupugay sa mga bayani po natin, araw ng kagitingan, no may malagipyo po dito araw ng kagitingan, declare retoy by a presidential decree, mga kaibigan, nga maselebraran na po iti April 9. No malagipyo dahil ko ay dito datay Bataan Corregidor, the fall of Bataan and Corregidor nga napasamak ti death march. May salita di Diyos talwan na President Ferdinand Marcos kende di lelong ko mo, lelong ko kami ni dig namo nga nauray ay ti pa nagveterano na nga napadasan na mga kaibigan iti si Mali iti deta death march. Ala keta kumusta kayo amin na po aming nga veterano nga si Bibiyag Pay patidugan nyo pa iti biyag nyo tabarbarin no maramanan nyo pa digitay itin ti gobyerno nga pagsiatan nyo, tamok na deta kat importante, launay, kada tayo, kada gito yung gundaway. So madamdaman to, discussion to ni Myra, ito'y araw ng kagitingan, apo kailian, kung kailan ba at paano na-deklara as holiday dito'y, mga kaibigan. Kailan nyo digiti pangyayari kada giti nga panawin na po. Napintas, nabuyaw yung pelikula nito, araw ng kagitingan, aktor na kini Paquito Diaz, papagayam, buyay nyo na dyan, balikan nyo, dito yan ti YouTube, mabadars yung nga malukatan, papagayam, tapos kastak at, di kita ati pabuyayo, kada kitay, ipabuyayo kada kitay, tattao, kitam to man, Tara, dagi ko araw ng kagitingan nga pelikula din ni Paquito Diaz, ison to tikwam, no mabalinpay, kante malaba COVID, dita, ayan, ada na din, nabuyak kayo, dubing akon, dagito ti pabuyayo apo, kadagito ubing, no amuda ti nakaraanda, kasi kadagito nga tiyempo, nawanan, handa mo dagitan, dagito mo lang agne-Netflixen, kada dagitay, buy-buya kadagitay, game mutan, dagitay, ay ayaman apo ti, cellphone nun, iti bubrain yun. Mas pa'y nga buyayin nyo pa'y nagitay ay naga na laya, XNX nga kada nagitay pornograpyan, mga kaibigan. Di ba? So, nagay sermon nga po padi, idi Sunday. Mas kaya yung pa'y nga buyayin nun, nagigay dinadakasan kaysa nagigay nasayatan. No pornography, no nagigay sky scandal. Sa naging skandal ni Myra jay, kampusan to na jay, Myra. Sus Mario Josep, nagado ti mayamang buya, pati ubing, Mario Josep. Ngayon ti siya na jay, nagkatuluyan damulan, so damulan nagasawa. Mauyong na jay. Garamid na palang ti skandal na, sabay da nga agsettle. Nagigay ti bagbaga tayo po nga, kas na ko na napapadi, di kalman, sermon na, nagigay mutan, iti pag-concentratean tayo, hamutan nga, iti kinasaya ti balikas manipod iti Biblian awan mutan dagito bingan awanan awan ti awan sino pa kada into nun to aganak ka ti gatangem regaluang kanto ti kwan Bible story book yan digiyay nya ngem datay re ginatangak ti Bible story book na di ubing pa kay subot ti nauyong tatta karinggor ng didadi na. Mario Josep. Tergiya ti pabuyayo. Kali ito ubing yo. No, dapat nakabalin na. Bible story. Napintas mo dagay. Anda dagi ko na dagay. Datay kasla cartoon version na. Tatlo dagi ubing tayo masursurwan da. Ken amudamot ati respeto. Papagayam kasjay nga talaga. So nga dagito ya po tiyempo tapno ti kastakot intayo lagi pan. Gyamyaman tayo, kadagiti na palabas, nakaradkad tayo, nakapag-repent tayo mga kaibigan. Repentance kung na rin po panagbalbaliw. No thyself, amuyo bagbagiyo. Siyay, papagayam. Sabay mo nga dilawan ni dipadang mga tao, masapol nga amuwampay, tabagin. Kasjay, naglaad ka gaga, no, kung nana kumakinyam, nagyay gayem mo. Ya, agsarming ka mama puta ko na ma kasyay. Ya, kasyay tapno ti kasta ka ammo na ma. Oh, di ba? Hanggang ti ag picture kayo, selfie kayo, tapos ikwa mo, pagtawag mo na yan, i-filter mo, Mario Josep. Ito no makiamam mo ka, di ba ro? Biro ka mon. Ay, baga nagsarak ka di Plaza Burgos, nabayag na ka nga labsa-labsan di yan. Di na ka nga pagunyan. At yan nga sa bali mo di ropam yun di Facebook. Ngaintad mo kanya na. Nakapil-filter mo, nakapimpintas mo yung launay. Jesus Mario Josep. Yeah? Gagayam ti personal na, nagpuskol bibig na, tapos nagngisi pa eh. Nya, pang tawag na rin ni Jameson, napuskol ti subil na, wala na. Nangisi pa subil na, wala na. Lukot ti nga Jameson, naglingaguyaw. Jay, mga kaibigan. Nya, so nga, know thyself, amoy bagbagiyo pa yapo, kasjay. Amoy mo tan, iti klase ti panagbiag, karagiti ko tiyempo, na mga dapat na talaga nga, siya, wala akong pakialam. Basta't importante, no tao ka, no tao ka nga kasangsango, tao na nga kasangsangom, tao ka nga kasangsango, kasjay, nagsaw ka pudno, nagsaw na pudno, nagsalawasaw ka, digsin na lawasaw ta. Ganun lang naman yun eh. No pangasak ka, di ba kang mapangasak? Dig pinangas ta, kasjay lang, mga kaibigan niya. Tano ti kasta po kat amo tayo ti pagtaktak deran tayo. Napalabas ti semana, amuyo apo ti nubobrayo, ya. Napangkayo mo nakimisa nga ta siguro, or nagdengeg kayo ti misa, or nagbuya kayo ti misa dito Ilocos Heritage sa channel, amuyo mo nga ta apo ti pagtagtak deran nyo, amuyo ti luglugarin nyo. Kaya iti importante niya. So, tayo ko na karodan, gagayam ka na po kilian, importante amin na gito yapo, nga intayo pag sasaritaan itatta. Tayo ko na, nikatan di basol yo, wan. Sino nga ti maya nga mangibagaya nga, oy, hanga nikatan di basol ko, idol, boss, sir. Apay, napanna kami di simbaan ka, nagaduman nakita ka na kay sleeveless, rumor may pusig na. Nya, so malati dinto na rakon. So, na mga ganon mga kaibigan na, digiya po ti sitwasyon. Kada gito po nga, gondaway gagayem ken apo kailyan. So, amin di gito'y, kung mangkada kayo na po, importante. Nya, kaya no, lalagip yun na giti nagbabasulan nyo tinapalabas, alaga, sapay lang matagtultuloy neta nga, numabalinan na ka, naikatan, teko na nga ro doon, nagbasol ka ka, kaya, pakawang ka tanong may katan di basol mo, alang nga nayo naman, napumpuno pa lang, diglipyas, di ba? Nga baling nga karasama, tano ti kasta ka, into naman na daw sumaruno pagbasula mo na, at least may nayo man na yun, importante, naikatan, yung dati, ganon lang yun. Ay, nako talaga naman. Basta, ingat-ingat, amok ti tatangal daw, ado ti agbiyahe, agawid, apo, wag kayong patakbo ng patakbo, di ta kalsada, amoy di samana, di 1 week, nagado na tay, dito yung probinsya tayo nga Ilocos Sur, gapo ti aksidente, adan sa ti upa or 5, di ginaudi nga aksidente, dito yung pagwatiwatan na, dito yung parada, Santo Domingo, Mario Josep, linisyan na yung madungpar ng alakay, piman, nangagaw ti linyana, napanyibanger, nadungpar na, nakidinungpar, face to face, tinayay, pick up, nawara yung sango yung pick up, yung motor, nawara mo, dahil yung tao, natay nga dagos, napilidam pa'y, Diyos ko. Kita? Iyali ka na piman, ti madisgrasya yung tao nga, kasla walang pakialam, bumalasi ulatan, kasla, parang wala lang, ganon, parang wala lang. Ididamo nga makitak na jay, magmag na, pagkarup ko nila kay Rodi taan, as di mismo nga balayda. Di jay, hamala nga tila kay Rodi na jay, magmag na. Kaslala kay Rodi nga magmag na, as di pa mismo balay nila kay Rodi na jay, nakadiskrasyan na. Sos Mario Josep, nakitak, nalabsak launay na jay, napangkam Ilocos North, nagbisita iglesia gayam, sinait, di jay, malim ti Webes, nalabsam mi di yan, narumak. Sus, Mario Josep. Yeah? So, hangkay una po nga pataray. Dito ti pakalan ti disgrasya. Diba? Glaro tata, ado manante, ado agaawid. Amo nga nagraragsak kayo nga nagbakasyon. Nakita yun, nadenan nyo na kita pampamilya yog. Subli kayo di jay, gaputa, pangkayag trabaho. Agsipod ta, dati klase ito no bigat. Papagayam, lalo ka digba sa Manila, nya, nakatraffic na kalsada, tag-Subli, Manila. Manuoras. Yeah? Baka abutin na kati 14 hours. See? So nga, ang kay nga simsim round, dakit ta kalsada, kay simsim round, ta kalsada, hamo nga bukuda, namo bagi. Well, so dahil lang nga po tibabaling ko nga ibaga, kada kayo gagayam ka na po kay yan. Wala. Okay, alakit sabay na po nga mapantay, dari gito'y activities ni Presidente BBM, ipabuya mi mga kaibigan, dito programa po nga Ryanniag ti Ilocos Sur, ken siyempre, iti dumapay nga programa tayo matapo ditoy. When araw ng kagitingan itata celebration, yung medical man na po gusto nga kaldawan na reta, since na Sunday, na yakar, holiday tatapo, wang pala pasok niya, wan opisina, iti private ken, government, launay, papagay, wang pala klase apo, ito no bigat, sigurado reta, nga adda, iti opisina da klase. So nga, relax muna kayo ha, pero teko na karo din, nagsubli kayo iti trabaho yo, kada kita pagadalan nyo, gananad kayo, hindi bali nga dayay nabuntog ti pataray, mga kaibigan, basta importante po, safe kayo nga dumanon. Diyan lang nga po ha, lalo kat kapuskol ti tao itata, ti kalkalsada, kada kita yung gundaway, mga kaibigan, nagrigat pa yung sumakay ti bus, no di ka nga pa nagpabuk, kawan, delikado, baka matakasang ka, hangka makasakay. Okay po. Pare Rex, kilala, happy birthday, padre. Birthday mo kayo, tatay niya. Happy birthday to you. Kaya kita'y katropa tamutan dito, CIS. Kumusta kaya na po dito, CIS? Citizens Involvement Service, mga kaibigan. Katuwang natin yan sa paninilbihan. Dito'y Kapitolyo Provincial. Huwag gaya mga po, itibiyang mo ti programa Ryanniag ti Ilocos Sur. Alakit makipagpaset kami mo po, dito'y kararag para iti panag-recover mat apo ni Apo Gobernador Jerry Singson ta kadagiti gundaway kataday so na apo iti hospital barbareng sa pela kumatapo sa na marso at maka-recover mat apo nya iti daytoy nga oras sa kanito. Okay po mga kaibigan, alakat tagsubli kami to po kalpasan lang nagiti palagip tayo, then nagiti activities niya po Presidente BBM aglaw tayo araw ng kagitingan.
As the heritage province of the North reopens to tourists, it launches the all-new Tour Ilocos Sur app. A quick guide to Ilocos Sur at your fingertips. Find the best tourist spots. Hotels. Bars and restaurants. And authentic Ilocos Sur products and food. Be updated on upcoming events, plus get notified on the important announcements and updates. Available for global download on Android and iOS. The Tour Ilocos Sur app. Historical becomes digital.
Kaya't mo kanayon na nakakondisyon ti motor mo, saan tayo abaybayan ngagdadael? Siguden na patarimaan, tadda tinalaing ken anos a mekaniko, ken pagkagatangan ti high-end ken genuine a piyesa ti motorsiklo. King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Anya man na piyesa ken brand ti motorsiklo kasapulan at daamin dita King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Saan kan ngagpaspasarak, mapankan di sigurado, adupay di pagpilyan tinadumaduma a brand apilid, motor oil ken kumpleto apang setup. Pasyaren ti Pestuda sa Jikabarwan, Santa Catalina, Ilocos Sur. At dapay branch na dita igid ti National Highway, Sunto, Bantay, Ilocos Sur, ken Sadyay, Dagupan City. Ride safety. Siguradwen anapintas ti kondisyon dagiti motorsiklo. Adda ti mapagtalkaan a King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Ken no kasapulan piloga na pagpasya ken adday ti darayan nyo nga okasyon. Kastapay no dasabaten nyo akaming ti pamilyayo a balikbayan at danda iti ban amarentaan. Kontakin nyo ti numero 0917-188-7507. Ukwa ken imatmatonan da Bonnie ken Lynn Rabe. King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises.
Problema yu kadi iti panangalat ti student driving permit, renewal iti lisensya ngagmaneho, ken panang-upgrade iti restriction code dagiti lisensyayo. Solbaren dagiti nga problema yo iti RX Driving School. Ti RX Driving School ket accredited iti LTO ng eskwelaan amang ipaay kadagiti sumaganad. TDC wenno theoretical driving course. Kasapulan daytoy kadagiti mangalat ti student permit. PDC wenno practical driving course paramat kadagiti mangala iti non-prop wenno professional driver's license. Upgrading iti restriction code paramat kadagiti mangnayon iti mabalinda a manehuen ken ti special driving course paramat kadagiti kayat nga tagsursuro ngagmaneho iti motorsiklo, tricycle, four wheels, manual or automatic ken dadumapay. Naanos ken nalaing dagiti driving instructors da nga accredited iti LTO. Dito'y 2nd District, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti National Highway, Barangay Tablak, Candon City, abay iti Sacred Heart Medical Laboratory. Dito'y mat 1st District, masarakan ti RX Driving School, abay mismo iti LTO. Dita poblasyon is San Ildefonso, Ilocos Sur. Ken dita probinsya ti Ilocos Norte, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti along the National Highway, Barangay Kalagip, Batak City, sango ti Lucondia Cultural Center ken Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital. Asideg iti mismong LTO. No lisensya ti panagmaneho, ken nasaya ta pagsusuruan ngagmaneho, RX Driving School iti papanan. Para tadadong informasyon, tumawag wenno ag-text kayo iti 0917-578-3132 and 0917-811-0581. Dito 1st District San Ildefonso, 0917-306-3735. Itamot 2nd District Candon City, 0917-120-1745. Ken dita Batak City, 0917-329-0591. RX Driving School.
No serbisyo analaka nga catering ti masapulyo, adda iti Caril's Garden Catering Services ang masarakan di Mabini Street, Barangay Rizal, Kabugaw, Ilocos Sur. Adu pa iti agkakaimas nga makan ti inkay pagpilyan. Ken saan lang kadayta na ornos ti serbisyo da, napintas iti set up da. Ken saan yon a problema no kasapulan nyo iti venue. Oray anyaman nga okasyon ket mabaling nga rambakan kas iti kasar, birthday, anniversary, reunions, meeting, ken dumapay. Caril's Garden and Catering Services ti kapintasan ken kalakaan. Nadaras pa'y akasarita ti akin bagi ani Sir Carlito ken Maricar Asena. Wenno kontaken iti numero a 0917-799-1273. Wenno 0917-799-5110. Caril's Garden and Catering Services. Umay kayon!
Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives. Di kooperatiba ano bayagin nagsaserbi karang di Ilocano iti amyanan a Luzon. Di kooperatiba ang magpapaay ti serbisyo, benepisyo, ken mangisakit karang di empleyado ken miyembro na. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives wano NSCC ket adon tinatulungan na. Babayan medit na mayat alangin-langin ken kooperasyon dagiti miyembro ken mangimatmaton. Adon tinagduroasan ti kooperatiba. Adupay dagiti naynayon ang kasbek akas ti NSCC Farm, Chicharon Processing Facility, Macro Laboratory, kastameten ti NSCC Plaza, ken NSCC Business Center. Isungan niya pelang ter orayam makikapengkan iti kadakilan a kooperatiba iti probinsya. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives suman na NSCC. Imatmatunan na daytoy ni Dr. Gibina Kenny.
The bell tolls. First, for the defenders of Bataan and Corregidor, who fell victims to the infamous death march. They clung to life and refused to die until they could refuse no more. Second, for the Filipino and foreign forces, who bitterly fought and died for the liberation of the Philippines through perilous seas, ruined towns, and jungle-clad mountains. They crawled their way to victory to liberate the motherland. Third, for the civilians who perished in the flames of war, caught in the crossfire of warring nations, nostalgic of the past, uncertain of the future, they endured through sickness and starvation in the hopes of a peaceful tomorrow. Fourth, for the guerrillas and civilians who, without certain back pay or recognition, fought like enlisted soldiers and commissioned officers. They went to the fray out of self-will, facing the severe consequences of retribution and death from the enemy. Fifth, for the officials and civil servants who remained behind enemy lines while others fled, with a firm conviction of serving the country until the very end, they offered the supreme sacrifice and faced execution. Sixth, for the women and children tortured and killed in the most atrocious ways, may their harrowing stories never be forgotten and ignored. Justice alone can give them rest. And lastly, for the living veterans who carry the stories and legacies of bravery and valor, especially of their fallen comrades. Through them, we learn the heroism of Filipinos, even the smallest and simplest contributions they gave for the motherland. Their presence is an honor for all of us. We will remember those who fell in the night so we may rise to see the dawn. They bequeathed us life and liberty, as well as the duty to cherish and defend them, like they did 81 years ago. In the present, let us work for the peace that our forebears fought and died for.
Thank you. Please be seated. Our distinguished guests on the 81st commemoration of the Araw ng Kagitingan will be formally welcomed by Governor Jose Enrique S. Garcia III, Province of Bataan.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., maligayang pagbabalik muli sa Bataan, mahal naming Pangulo. Honorable members of Congress, led by Senator Francis Tolentino, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, led by His Excellency Japanese Ambassador Koshikawa Kazuhiko, and United States of America Chargé d'Affaires, Heather Variava, distinguished members of the Cabinet, members of the clergy, higit sa lahat, ang ating mga pinakamamahal na veterano, ang kanilang pamilya. Palakpakan po natin ang ating mga veterano. At sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan nandito sa Mount Samat at mga nanonood upang alalahanin ang kadakilaan at sakripisyo ng ating mga bayani sa ika-81 pagdiriwang ng Araw ng Kagitingan. Maganda at mapagpalang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Today we come together to honor the bravery, resilience, and sacrifice of our war veterans and fallen heroes who fought gallantly for our freedom and independence. During the Battle of Bataan, these valiant men and women displayed extraordinary courage and determination in the face of adversity. They held their ground for several months despite the overwhelming odds against them. Their resistance served as a vital delaying action that bought valuable time for the Allied forces to regroup and prepare for the eventual liberation of the Philippines. Their heroism continues to serve as a source of inspiration and pride for all Filipinos. Kung tayo po ay lilingon sa aking kaliwa dito sa Mount Samat, makikita natin ang malawak na tanawin ng Bataan Peninsula at Manila Bay. At kung babalikan natin ang mga panahong iyon, ating magugunita sa paligid ng tangway kung paano ipinaglaban ng mga veterano ang ating bansa. Ang kanilang ginawang paghahanda, pagpaplano, pagbabantay at pakikibaka upang protektahan ang kapwa Pilipino. Kayo po ang nagbigay ng pundasyon o ang panimulang punto ng kwento ng ating bayan. Ang inyong kontribusyon at sakripisyo ang naghugbog sa takbo ng ating kasaysayan at kung ano ang narating ng bansang Pilipinas. Kaya naman hindi ko po maiwasan na isipin kayo ang ating mga bayani noong nagkaroon ng ceremonial drilling sa Mariveles kasama si Pangulong BBM kamakailan lamang. Sa parehong tanawin kung saan kayo po ay nagpamalas ng kabayanihan, 81 taong nakalipas, ay itatayo ang isang pambihirang istruktura na magbibigay ng panibagong pag-asa at kaunlaran sa lahat ng Pilipino. Kung noong 1973 ay pinatayo ni dating Pangulo Ferdinand Marcos Sr. ang pinakamahabang tulay sa bansa, ang 2 kilometrong San Juanico Bridge sa Visayas. Ngayon naman, makalipas ang 50 taon sa panahon ng kanyang anak, ang ating Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., itatayo ang papalit bilang pinakamahabang tulay sa bansa, ang 32 kilometrong Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge. Much like this iconic bridge that will not only connect 2 provinces, but also the 2 largest regions, Central Luzon and Southern Tagalog, our veterans serve as the link that binds our love for country. You are the foundation upon which our history stands, the driving force that propels us forward into the future. As the feet of our history, you have taken the crucial steps that have shaped our nation's past and forged our identity. As the shoulders that carry our future, you provide the strength and support needed to lift us up, ensuring that your legacy of courage, resilience, and sacrifice continues to inspire us as we build a brighter tomorrow. Sa araw na ito, ipinapangako natin na patuloy na pangangalagaan ng kanilang alaala at ipagpatuloy ang kanilang adikain para sa pagkakaisa at pag-unlad ng ating bansa. Mahalaga na ipasa po natin ang mga kwento ng ating mga bayani sa susunod na henerasyon upang hindi malimutan ang kanilang sakripisyo at patuloy na maging inspirasyon ang kanilang kadakilaan. Ang proyektong Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge ay isa pang simbolo ng ating pag-asa na maging tulad ng ating mga bayani, matatag, matapang at handang harapin ang mga hamon ng panahon. As we pay tribute and remember our fallen heroes, let us keep in mind that their sacrifices have paved the way for a brighter future for our nation. May their bravery and valor ignite a spark within us to unite and work together towards a more connected, prosperous, and united Philippines. Muli, sa ating pong mga veterano, taus-pusong pasasalamat sa inyong kadakilaan at kabayanihan. Muli po, palakpakan natin ang ating mga mahal na veterano. Kayong aming matibay na halimbawa at gabay tungo sa mas maunlad at makabuluhang kinabukasan para sa ating bansa. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang ating mga bayani. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Thank you, Governor Garcia. We'll now have the overview from Dr. Emmanuel F. Calairo, Chairman of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines.
It was 81 years ago from this day when one of the most humiliating defeats in Philippine history had befallen on our people. When the Second World War in the Pacific erupted on the 8th of December 1941, in the Philippine reckoning, the Philippines was at the cusp of having full sovereignty. At that time, the nation was already halfway into its 10-year transition to full independence from the United States, an effort that took our people initially to war and then afterwards, years of peaceful lobbying and campaigning. Many of our dear veterans here, with their wrinkled faces and old scars, were young men then, thrusted into war they did not fully comprehend. With independence within reach, the invasion in 1941 that embattled Filipino and American soldiers alike interrupted the dream and plunged the country into war and devastation. But no true liberty is without cost. Our country's sons and daughters were drafted in the defense of the country. In the last-ditch effort to stall the Japanese use of Manila Bay, Filipino and American troops held their last stand in Bataan in the early months of 1942. 94 days to be exact, amidst grueling heat, humidity, hunger, and intense artillery fire. Human endurance was tested and pushed to the limits. Here in Bataan, many became casualties of war. But our heroes held on beyond what was humanly possible, until human strength and morale finally gave in. On this day in 1942, General Edward P. King and his surviving troops of 66,000 Filipinos and 12,000 American soldiers surrendered to the Japanese 14th Army. The terms of surrender was agreed upon at 12:30 p.m. These hallowed halls and the sturdy white cross that stand as a monument to valor is a testament to the great sacrifice of those who came before us. It was this new age of peace and amity between the Filipino-American and the Japanese peoples that we offer this moment of solemn commemoration. To all of them, named and unnamed, knowing that their precious wounds and lives offered at the altar of freedom are never in vain. Mabuhay ang kalayaan. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Chairman Calairo. The Ambassador, Embassy of Japan, His Excellency Koshikawa Kazuhiko, will give his message.
His Excellency Fernando R. Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines, the Honorable Member of the Cabinet and Honorable Member of the Senate and the Congress, Dr. Emmanuel Calayo, Chairman, National Historical Commission of the Philippines, Governor Jose Enrique Garcia, Province of Bataan, Ms. Heather Variava, Charge d'Affaires, U.S. Embassy Manila, colleagues from the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished veterans and guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, maraming magandang mga po sa inyong lahat. I'm deeply honored to join you today in solemnly commemorating the brave souls of those who fought in Bataan 81 years ago. As we stand on this hallowed ground, I'd like to express my heartfelt condolences to the victims of the fierce battles that took place here during the Second World War. I also offer my utmost respect to the war veterans who have greatly contributed to the peace and security that we all enjoy today. We, the Japanese people, feel deep remorse for our country's actions before and during Second World War, wishing lasting peace for the common good, while trusting in the faith and justice of peace-loving people. We are determined to uphold the rule-based global order. 8 decades after the war, Japan and the Philippines have become the closest of friends. We are deeply grateful for the forgiveness and graciousness of the Filipinos, as well as the tireless effort of both our predecessors. Likewise, Japan, the Philippines, and the United States, once divided by war, are now mutually trusting democratic partners working toward a common goal to preserve peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. Committed to our shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific, we firmly oppose unilateral attempt to change the status quo by force, especially in the East and South China Sea. We cannot allow any military and economic power to undermine the very foundation of existing global order and plunge the world into conflict and chaos and tragedy. Based on this premise, during the Japan-Philippines summit meeting last February, our 2 leaders deplored the strongest terms the aggression by Russian Federation against Ukraine. They also reaffirmed their position in the United Nations resolution demanding Russia's complete and unconditional withdrawal from the territory of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 12th anniversary of establishment of Japan-Philippines Strategic Partnership in 2011. Since then, our partnership has continued to deepen. Last February, His Excellency President Marcos Jr. made an official visit to Japan. In a joint statement, both President Marcos Jr. and Prime Minister Kishida reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening our bilateral cooperation in a wide range of areas, including people-to-people exchange, economy, security, and defense. Among other things, our leaders pledged that Japan and the Philippines, together with the United States and other like-minded countries, are partners in maintaining peaceful and stable world. Amid increasing severe international security environment, we seek to prevent a repeat of a tragedy of war for the sake of present and future generations. Following the large-scale military action last August, another military threat is now underway around Taiwan. Repeated large-scale military action in the vicinity by a neighbor seriously affect the peace and security of Japan and other countries in the regions, as well as the safety and livelihood of their citizens. We sincerely hope that issues surrounding Taiwan will be resolved peacefully through dialogue, not by force. Today, in this sacred site, we gather and act as close friends and like-minded partners in preserving peace and prosperity in this region
for the future generation. I believe that this is the best tribute we can offer to the souls of those who passed away in the fighting that took place here 81 years ago. Dear Filipino veterans and friends, I'd like to conclude my remarks by reassuring that Japan will continue to stand with the Philippines and other like-minded countries, echoing the word of His Excellency President Marcos Jr., saying Japan as the most reliable partners in time of crisis and of prosperity. We will sure be working hard to live up to the trust of the President. It is our sincere hope that through our concerted effort, we will be able to elevate our relation to greater height. Once again, please allow me to express my gratitude and respect to war veterans. Long live the friendship between our two countries. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Ambassador Kazuhiko. Let us hear the message of the Chargé d'Affaires ad interim to the Philippines, Embassy of the United States of America, Ms. Heather Variava.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. It is a very great honor for me to represent the United States here today and pay tribute to the heroic Filipino and American soldiers who fought and died on and around this mountain 81 years ago during the Battle of Bataan. On behalf of the United States, I offer our reverence for their sacrifice, our admiration for their devotion to duty, and our eternal gratitude for their legacy. This is a truly beautiful and peaceful place now. It feels imbued with the spirits of the Filipino and American service members who gave their last full measure of devotion on this spot. I am profoundly grateful for the opportunity to pay tribute to the generation that sacrificed so much for all of us today. This ceremony gives us an opportunity to pause and reflect on the present peace that their sacrifices made possible for us. In the movement to fully recognize those who fought and served in World War II, the United States Embassy continues to partner with the Department of National Defense Philippine Veterans Affairs Office to award the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal to Philippine veterans of World War II and their families. The Congressional Gold Medal is one of the highest civilian honors in the United States, awarded in recognition of those whose services and achievements helped shape American history. Since 2018, Congressional Gold Medal ceremonies have taken place across the Philippines. Another ceremony takes place tomorrow in Tarlac. Secretary Galvez and I presented Congressional Gold Medals a couple months ago to Filipino men and women now in their late 90s in honor of their service in World War II. It was so moving to be in the presence of these heroes, and it is very moving to be in the presence of these heroes again today. Filipino World War II veterans shaped the history of both the Philippines and the United States. We all owe them an immeasurable debt of gratitude for their valor and their sacrifice. As we recognize and honor the Filipino and American veterans this week, it is also important to acknowledge the courage of the soldiers and civilians in Ukraine who have been ceaselessly fighting for the same principles of freedom and democracy that underpinned our alliance here. The United States stands with Ukraine. I would like to also echo the words of my colleague, the Japanese ambassador, and calling for the peaceful, prosperous, open, free Indo-Pacific and the rules-based order that we all have enjoyed for the last 70 plus years. The United States stands united with the Philippines as friends, partners, and allies. As stated by President Biden, Vice President Harris, Secretary of State Blinken, Secretary of Defense Austin, and numerous other U.S. leaders, our commitment to the U.S.-Philippine alliance is ironclad. This alliance, established following World War II, continues to unite and inspire generations of Filipinos and Americans. We have diplomats at our embassy here in Manila whose grandparents served in the Philippines during World War II. The past is with us in many ways. And this month, more than 12,000 American service members will visit the Philippines to work and train with Filipino service members shoulder to shoulder in the largest Balakatan exercise ever held. Today, 18 members of the U.S. Armed Forces accompany me here as we collectively remember and give thanks. Together, today, we honor the valor so clearly on display on this peninsula 81 years ago. We reflect on the courage, bravery, commitment, and readiness to make the ultimate sacrifice, as so many did. Today, we recommit to the quest for peace so that future generations will not experience the horrors of those who lived through wars and conflicts. To all of the veterans and active duty service members joining us today, thank you for your service. To our veterans, thank you for your service. Thank you for granting me the honor to be with you here today on behalf of the United States. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Ms. Varyava. Well, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, let us listen to the audio track during that moment when Bataan has fallen.
Everywhere. This is the voice of freedom, broadcasting from somewhere in the Philippines. Bataan has fallen. The Philippine-American troops on this war-ravaged and blood-stained peninsula have laid down their arms. With heads bloody but unbowed, they have yielded to the superior force and numbers of the enemy. The adversary, in the pride of his power and triumph, will credit our troops with nothing less than the courage and fortitude that his own troops have shown in battle. Our men have fought a brave and bitterly contested struggle. All the world will testify to the almost superhuman endurance with which they stood up until the last in the face of overwhelming odds. But the decision had to come. Men fighting under the banner of unshakable faith are made of something more than flesh, but they are not made of impervious steel. The flesh must yield at last. Endurance melts away, and the end of the battle must come. Bataan has fallen, but the spirit that made it stand, a beacon to all the liberty-loving peoples of the world, cannot fail.
Thank you. May we now call on the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Jaime J. Bautista, for the introduction of the guest of honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you very much, Transportation Secretary Jimmy Bautista. Please take your seat. The Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Archbishop Charles John Brown, the Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps today led by His Excellency Koshikawa Kazuhiko, the Ambassador of Japan to the Philippines, and the Charge d'Affaires, Heather Varyava of the U.S. Embassy here in Manila, Senator Francis Tolentino and other members of Congress who are here today, Bataan's 2nd District Representative Albert Garcia, Philippine Veterans Affairs Office Undersecretary Reynaldo Mapago, AFP Chief of Staff General Andy Centino, and all our service commanders, Bataan Governor Jose Enrique Garcia, Bataan Mayor Carlos Pizarro, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines Chairman Dr. Emmanuel Calairo, Most Reverend Bishop Ruperto Santos, most importantly, our valiant veterans who are with us this morning, participants to the 2023 Philippines United States Balikatan exercises, fellow workers in government, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My beloved countrymen, we are here today to commemorate a defining moment in the history of our people. We are here to once again remember the heroism, valor, and sacrifice of the countless heroes who, with every ounce of their being, and often with their passing, have made this hallowed ground. We convene here at the Mount Samat National Shrine, built during my father's time to memorialize the heroic struggles of Filipinos and their allies during the war, particularly during the fall of Bataan some 8 years ago. Teeming with rich historical and military significance, Mount Samat was a key part of the plan to defend the Philippines through the so-called Plan Orange. Look to Corregidor Island and Peninsula as the ideal strategic locations from which to defend Manila. It served as a key observation over the entirety of Bataan and as the bastion of our resistance against the enemy. It is here, on this sacred ground, that on April 3, 1942, Good Friday, the enemy forces launched their final offensive to take Bataan Peninsula. Facing them on these imposing but pockmarked foothills of Mount Samat were the 21st and 41st Divisions of the Philippine Army. Battered by months of fighting, it was here that they made their last stand, facing the combined military might of a battle-hardened, well-equipped, well-supplied force. For 6 days, our soldiers fought bravely with almost superhuman endurance, fighting not only with the power of their arms, but with the faith entrusted to them by their fellow Filipinos. After days of the fiercest fighting yet seen in this theater, our brave soldiers yielded to the superior force of the enemy, with heads bloodied but unbowed, earning the respect of both their comrades and their enemies. Now, we commemorate April 9 of every year as a day of valor. Many dismiss the commemoration of the Bataan siege as ill-advised, simply because it had ended in a most agonizing defeat. But we cannot agree more with our historians, because what we had lost in this incipient battle and had not finished the war had yet to be won. We lost great men and women during that time, ending with a death march. Our most important triumph, though, was that we kept on fighting and that we never lost hope. It has been said that it is inappropriate that we celebrate such loss. For although we lost the battle, the fall of Bataan marked the beginning of the Filipinos' resurgence as a fighting force to defend and to take back the land of their forefathers. Meanwhile, the ferociousness with which Filipinos fought for their country diverted enemy forces from action in other countries around Southeast Asia. Also, the fall of Bataan triggered a series of events spanning 3 years of patience, resilience, and physical and mental toil, during which Filipinos regrouped, fought side by side with their fellow citizens and allies. Citizens from every walk of life quietly and bravely volunteered to join in the defense of our country. It continued with the valiant resistance of our guerrilla forces all over the country, culminating in the Battle of Besang Pass in Cervantes, Ilocos Sur, where the 25,000 Filipino forces, supported by American forces, finally subdued the enemy. In 3 years' time, Luzon would be retaken. The sheer unrelenting spirit of Filipinos working hand in hand with allies overpowered enemy forces stranglehold over Luzon. Through significant victories at the Balete Pass, Villaverde Trail, and Besang Pass, it ultimately led to the defeat and surrender of the enemy later that year. Our world has turned many times since that war. We live in a different time now. Those who once faced each other in battle now work together for peace. So one might ask, is there still a need for heroes? Do we still have within us Filipinos that character of heroism that has defined us as a people for all our history? We need only look around us to find the answer. We see it in our veterans, some of whom are here with us today. They have passed on to us this shining legacy, this treasure for us to burnish. We see it in the eyes of every child who looks to the future with hope and eager anticipation. The answer lies in every Filipino who toils and sacrifices to feed their families, help their communities, and serve their country. And so, we must celebrate these golden deeds that uphold the spirit of patriotism. Celebrate all the individual acts of valor and of sacrifice. We celebrate the Filipino spirit. We celebrate our countrymen's deep, abiding love of every Filipino. Love for our land, love for our people, and love for our freedom. We have been called upon to stay true to that tradition that Filipinos have demonstrated throughout our history. And so it is today that the spirit of heroism is once again asked of us by our country. Perhaps not in the grand acts displayed on the field of battle, but in the everyday challenges that we must face to defend ourselves, to defend our people, to defend our country. What better example of that Filipino nobility of spirit could there be than what was once again demonstrated in the last worldwide crisis, where our men and women rose to the challenge of facing an unseen enemy, a new global challenge. Once again, Filipinos showed the world our purity of spirit and of compassion by willingly putting themselves in peril in the service of others. So have faith. We can look to the future with confidence, girded with the knowledge that the most noble Filipino quality of heroism is a flame and burns brightly in every true Filipino. For that, we thank our heroes, those who fought and bled and died here. For they have shown us the way, not necessarily an easy way, to make us the best citizens of our republic. So let us tread that path together, united by our faith in God and our love of country. Mabuhay ang bayaning Pilipino, mabuhay ang ating mga veterano, mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, this ends today's 81st commemoration of the Araw ng Kagitingan. Ang aming taus-pusong pasasalamat sa inyong lahat sa pakikiisa sa pagunita ng Linggo ng mga Veterano at sa Araw ng Kagitingan. Nais po nating pasalamatang muli ang ating butihing Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Isa rin pong masigabong palakpakan para sa ating mga veterano. Mabuhay ang ating mga veterano, mabuhay ang bansang Pilipinas. Isang mapagpalang araw ang sumaating lahat.
As the heritage province of the North reopens to tourists, it launches the all-new Tour Ilocos Sur app. A quick guide to Ilocos Sur at your fingertips. Find the best tourist spots. Hotels. Bars and restaurants. And authentic Ilocos Sur products and food. Be updated on upcoming events, plus get notified on the important announcements and updates. Available for global download on Android and iOS. The Tour Ilocos Sur app. Historical becomes digital.
Kaya't mo kanayon na nakakondisyon ti motor mo, saan tayo abaybayan ngagdadael? Sigude na patarimaan, tadda tinalaing ken anos a mekaniko, ken pagkagatangan ti high-end ken genuine a piyesa ti motorsiklo. King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Anyaman na piyesa ken brand ti motorsiklo a kasapulan at daamin dita King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Saan kan ngagpaspasarak, mapankan di sigurado. Adupay di pagpilyan tinadumaduma a brand a pilid, motor oil ken kumpleto apang setup. Pasyaren ti Pestuda sa Jikabarwan, Santa Catalina, Ilocos Sur. At dapay branch na dita igid ti National Highway, Sunto, Bantay, Ilocos Sur, ken Sadyay, Dagupan City. Ride safety. Siguradwen anapintas ti kondisyon dagiti motorsiklo. Adda ti mapagtalkaan a King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises. Ken no kasapulan piloga na pagpasya ken adday ti darayan nyo nga okasyon. Kastapay no dasabaten nyo akaming ti pamilyayo a balikbayan at danda iti ban amarentaan. Kontakin nyo ti numero 0917-188-7507. Kukwa ken imatmatonan da Bonnie ken Lynn Rabe. King Rabe Motorcycle Parts Enterprises.
Foods ba ang hanap mo? Kaya't mo mukbang ng basit ti budget. Kapangkan sa J Books Eat Food Hub. Masarakan ti igit ti National Highway Barangay Kabarwan, Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Giseserve dati only wings, rice, lechon kawale, sisig kanda dumapay a pagpiliak. In kayon ti Books Eat Food Hub. Matmatunan dito ni Miss Eileen Tolentino ken ni Miss Luenalu Manligues. And the food, yem suwak sa bulsa. Anya pa ito orayam, mapankan ti Books Eat Food Hub. Books Eat Food Hub, sigurado mabsog ta buksit mo. Nagbebero kay matinaimas nga pulutan wano dagiti maprito amakmakan. Saragam lang ti Choylin Fried Station. Masarakan ti na dumaduma pwesto ti probinsya ng Ilocos Sur at dati ta syudad ti Vigan, Iliti Santo Domingo, Cabugao, Sinait, Narvacan, ken Canton City. At dapat pwesto na dita Abra ken pati Batak ken Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. At doon kita mabili mo pagpilian. At dati fried chicken, crispy pata, fried itik, lechon kawali,
tokwat baboy ken pork sisig. Choiling fried station. Fried to perfection. No kaya't mumati only rice ken only soup all you can, 3 mantas grill house lang sapat na. Ado dagiti pagbilya mga combo meals nga sigurado aswak ti budget mo. Masarakan ti 3 mantas grill house sa Bayubay Sur, San Vicente, Ilocos Sur. What are you waiting for? Come and visit 3 mantas grill house today. Kung mahilig ka mat dagiti matuno makmakan, na tuno grill house lang ang iyong kailangan. They offering chicken inasal, pork barbecue, chicken barbecue, only rice pork inasal ken only chicken wings. Masarakan tinatuno grill house sa San Jose, Narbacan, Ilocos Sur. Anya pa ito Ryan, pasyara mo dagito nga panganan. Na imas tagdag no nananam timakan.
Problema yu kadi iti panangalat ti student driving permit, renewal iti lisensya ngagmaneho, ken panang-upgrade iti restriction code dagiti lisensyayo. Solbaren dagiti nga problema yo iti RX Driving School. Ti RX Driving School ket accredited iti LTO ng eskwelaan. Amang ipaay kadagiti sumaganad. TDC wenno theoretical driving course. Kasapulan daytoy kadagiti mangalat ti student permit. PDC wenno practical driving course. Paramat kadagiti mangalat iti non-prop wenno professional driver's license. Upgrading iti restriction code. Paramat kadagiti mangnayon iti mabalinda a manehuen. Ken ti special driving course, paramat kadagiti kayat na tagsursuro agmaneho ti motorsiklo, tricycle, 4 wheels, manual, or automatic ken da dumapay. Naanos ken nalaing dagiti driving instructors da nga accredited iti LTO. Dito'y 2nd District, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti National Highway, Barangay Tablak, Candon City, abay iti Sacred Heart Medical Laboratory. Dito'y mat 1st District, masarakan ti RX Driving School, abay mismo, iti LTO. Dita poblasyon is San Ildefonso, Ilocos Sur. Ken dita probinsya ti Ilocos Norte, masarakan ti RX Driving School, iti along the National Highway, Barangay Kalagip, Batak City, sango ti Lucondia Cultural Center ken Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital. Asideg iti mismong LTO. No lisensya ti panagmaneho, kinasaya ta pagsusuruan ngagmaneho, RX Driving School iti papanan. Para tadadong informasyon, tumawag wenno ag-text kayo iti 0917-578-3132 and 0917-811-0581. Dito 1st District San Ildefonso, 0917-306-3735. Itamot 2nd District, Candon City, 0917-120-1745. Ken Ditabatak City, 0917-329-0591. RX Driving School.
No serbisyo analaka nga catering ti Masapulyo, adda iti Caril's Garden Catering Services ang masarakan di Mabini Street, Barangay Rizal, Kabugaw, Ilocos Sur. Adu pa iti agkakaimas nga makan ti inkay pagpilian. Ken saan lang kadayta, na ornos ti serbisyo da, napintas iti set up da. Ken saan yon a problema no kasapulan nyo iti venue. Oray anyaman nga okasyon ket mabaling nga rambakan kas iti kasar, birthday, anniversary, reunions, meeting, ken dumapay. Caril's Garden and Catering Services ti kapintasan ken kalakaan. Nadaras pa'y akasarita ti akin bagi ani Sir Carlito ken Maricar Asena. Wenno kontaken iti numero a Sir